I have done over 70 podcasts, over 100 hours of deep conversations with experts in their own field. And in this video, I'm going to teach you guys things that I've learned in the past 3 years. All these lessons can be implemented in your personal life, so stick around till the end of the video. Things that I'm going to share with you guys have not really been said by any podcasters in my knowledge and not even by content creators. So, my number one point is the power of hospitality. So, as a Nepali, this runs in our blood. Whether it's with friends, whether it's with business people, whether it's with your own cousins, anybody, think about it. The experience you provide when somebody's coming over, whether it's at your office or at your house, the experience really counts and it really can make you go further. So, as a podcaster, I've done countless podcasts, which means a lot of guests are coming and going from my studio. This means providing them with good food, providing them with drinks, and even making the environment as comfortable as you want it. Sometimes you might have to go the little extra step to actually provide them with things that they need. For me, I try to make the room as comfortable as possible by sometimes setting the room temperature, maybe even sometimes the air quality, maybe sometimes they're hungry, or drinks, coffee, tea. These are so basic, but if you miss out on these stuff, this can really be a deal breaker. So a lot of people might say this is actual common sense, but I think just putting out there, just going an extra mile won't hurt it. And even in life, I've built relationship based on good hospitality. So these are small things that can really lighten up your relationship and kind of showcases this giving nature that is really important while building relationships. So number two, facing rejections. This actually was a learning curve for me as a teenager doing podcasting because I kind of didn't know that people were so much busy, and starting out, honestly, I was not prepared for the rejections that I faced. But as I went through life, as I went through podcasting, the number one thing in itself is facing rejection. Even till now, on a daily basis, I face rejections, even when in terms of not getting replies or people rejecting proposals. And in the back end of the podcast, we face rejections on a daily basis. So whether it's rejecting proposals, whether it's rejection from guests, or whether it's rejections from brands, rejection on a daily basis, but we try to do our best in terms of putting out a piece of content every single week. And still now, till this day, is very hard to book guests. But the number one thing is we always are prepared for rejections, and to be honest, we always have like a plan B because we cannot stick to one thing and hope that will work out. So we always have a plan B. So even in your life, whether it's interacting with people, whether it's telling someone that you like about your feelings, or even in business, right? You will face rejections and you have to deal with it. I myself am learning to do it on a daily basis, but it's just how life moves on. And don't have personal grudges against people who will reject you, because at the end of the day, you have to move on quick. And if you're stuck in holding grudges, that might really set you down. Trust me when I say this, rejections might be really hard for some people. Even for me, I might have sleepless nights because I might be really working on a project and that might get rejected. But you have to hold your head up and talk to yourself in the mirror, do what you have to do, and actually face the rejection and move on as quickly as possible. Number three, consistency in your craft. So, what I mean by this is you have to constantly work on your craft. So, if you don't show consistency in your field, people might not value as much as they should have. Sometimes people can value consistency over results. That's what I've experienced. I'll give an example. So while I was doing this podcast, the growth was very slow. Even till now, it's very slow. But people see the consistency and they can give you work. You can get work. So even in your field, whether it's IT, whether it's content creation, if you have consistency, people might see that as a plus point. And even if you have not gotten the results, people might invest just by seeing you as a person. Consistency actually shows your resilience, the way you can handle things, and when shit hits the fan, when things are not working out, if you're consistent, if you can show your resilience, I think that's where people can invest in you. That's when you can show people that you can show up every single day or every single week over a thing that you're doing, over a craft that you're honing. Number four, storytelling is everything. Value is created through storytelling. You can just have three colors in a blank canvas. If you can really persuade people with your storytelling, you can sell that painting for millions. That's what people do. That's how people create credibility. That's how even politicians run the country. So storytelling is key. So you just have to know how you as a person can tell your own individual story in your creations that you do. Storytelling in itself does not have to be very direct in terms of you writing the story, right? Storytelling can be expressed in different ways. Let me give you an example. Even in businesses, you can see specific themed cafes, right? They're also persuading you a story, right? Story is king. That's why people get intrigued and invest money in your business. Even in my podcast, I try to put out a good story every single week. Today, I'm telling you my journey as a story and giving you value in that process. So keep that in mind. Even in your daily life, storytelling can be implemented in many ways. It's just you have to figure out how you will tell your story. So, number five, systems. So, systems are the key funnel for motivation, whether it's in your day to day life, whether it's in business or corporate world, even in this podcast. So I tried developing a system where my team helps me provide a piece of content every single week to you guys. So without this system, if I was alone, it would be really hard for me to do this. Delegating set of tasks to your helping hands. This might be teammates, this might be AI systems, this might be your day-to-day task manager. This can be anything, whether it's using AI agents in this new world, whether it's hiring new teammates to build that system where you can have procedures by which you have a systematic way of doing things. So that's when motivation kind of gets easier, right? Sometimes I don't want to do this, but I know I have set systems and I have people who help me. So I kind of have this sense of responsibility as well. So for me, that might be my system. For you, what might be it? So, number six, repetitive act of conversation. So this is the number one thing that has helped me in this podcasting journey. At day one, I didn't have the ability to actually hold conversation for 2 hours straight. As I went by, I started off with 30 minutes, then to 1 hour, then to 2 hours. Now I can do up to 3 hours, right? As you go on with your life, as you talk to people in a consistent basis, you will actually know how to engage in these conversation. You kind of really don't even have to watch videos, in my opinion. It's just self-reflecting on what you did right, what you did wrong, and just watching other people. Sometimes observations can lead you a long way, right? You can see people, how they interact with people, their body language cues, right? And how mirroring can help. So these are small cues that you as a self observer can actually observe, and this can lead you a long way, even in convincing people your job salary, let's suppose. Also, doing small talk, this can be also helpful for building relationships. The art of conversation is a really good skill to have. I myself am working on it as much as possible. Nobody is perfect, but that is one of the most important skill as an individual you can own. So the last point that I've learned is actually never be hesitant to ask for help. A lot of people who are maybe doing more better than you can just go and ask them why things are not working out. Sometimes being vulnerable can lead you a long way. That's how relationships build, right? Even in business, even in building friendships. Because if that person is genuine and if he or she knows the actual steps to reaching to that point, they might be humble enough to actually guide you. Personally, I have texted a lot of people simply just saying that this is my problem, I really need help. Not asking for help and just being silent can hinder your growth, actually. That's what I've learned. And even if they don't reply, man, even if they don't reply, if they don't even see the text, that's completely fine. People are going to do that. Be well prepared to actually face that. If you reach out to 100 people, even if 5 people or like 3 people actually reply who are really good, or even 3 people who have replied, that's enough. Sometimes that will be the realistic ratio you will get, and that might be enough for you to actually grow and find some things that might be really important in your sector. So the people who have stuck till the end, thank you so much for listening to me. Do drop a like and share this video as much as possible, because it helps us, our team, to grow and provide more value in the future. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
2 years ago, I discovered one of the juiciest burgers in town, served by Tease Your Palate, and guess what? I'm thrilled to announce that they're sponsoring this video, and they've also opened a sister venture by the name Sicily by Tease. With the same service and with the same quality, they're serving you some delicious pizzas. All the details will be down in the description. Make sure to check them out.